My name is Waffles, and I'm a government whistleblower turned political commentator. I just want to insert my opinion on the Supreme Court decision that was made technically yesterday. It's 12:43 a.m. I need to get to bed. While there's been no ruling on what is taking place with the birthright citizenship, no technical ruling, I'm hearing all kinds of stuff out there right now. My concern is over what the decision that was just made with nationwide injunctions. And there's a lot that I'm really frustrated about. You know, it's got my head spinning. So pretty much, to make things make sense, there's judicial districts, okay, that involve like multiple states per district. So what they did is they made the decision that, if I'm understanding correctly, that when the president is doing something that is potentially, like unconstitutional or whatever, the higher court, being the Supreme Court, if I'm understanding this correctly, cannot issue a nationwide injunction. They cannot halt the action that the president is taking, putting it on pause while the court proceedings take place for the entire nation, in order to protect the nation from further harms being done by whatever actions are being upheld in court. For example, birthright citizenship. So I'm here to just express my thoughts and my opinions. And from my own perspective, I believe that that creates a situation where the president can then do whatever he wants within a certain window of time, which causes harm upon the people. Okay? National security is a matter of keeping the nation safe and secure. Stability. The nation needs stability and security. These are vital issues to ensure that the nation continues to exist. They're of the utmost importance, national security and stability. And the ruling that is being made by this whole thing with removing the ability to do national injunctions, I think needs to be upheld and criminally investigated. My own understanding, because I've been on this for like over 3 years now, trying to get justice, I have more than 8 cases going through that were supposed to be handled in the courts at our federal agencies, and I'm not getting justice. People have destroyed my life. They have broken the law. And I try to do something about it, and nothing is getting done. And I'm here with substantial financial losses. My credit has been destroyed, and I am being put in a position by this government and the ongoing chaos that it has created where there's nothing I can do about it. And that's not good for national security either. I wrote a whole book, and at the end of that, there's like over 100 pages in the summary or something that has to do with why it is dangerous to be denying people justice, to not be enforcing the law. There is a reason why we have things like laws against fraud and laws against physically harming other people. And what I feel like I am seeing right now is that as a result of this creepy old man named Donald Trump getting into office and becoming our president, is that these laws are not being enforced, and that a lot of innocent people are being harmed, ultimately resulting in a threat to national security, the security of the nation, the ability of people to be secure in the nation, and national security, the safety of the nation. National security is protecting the nation from violence and national stability. So then ultimately, at the end of the day, what I feel I am seeing as a result of this decision to get rid of nationwide injunctions and take it to the lower court and have it handled by districts instead of be nationwide, which, if you have a president who is doing things that are harmful to the nation, that would be a good situation to introduce a nationwide injunction. I think we are a lot better off going with what we already know and understand, if it is safer as a solution while situations get played out in court. And the Supreme Court just made the decision that that's not going to happen anymore. And I think that that needs to be tried and appealed in the future. Because to me, from my own perspective, that is a threat to national security to be making that decision. And I personally feel, and I have every right as an American citizen to express my thoughts and opinions. My opinion on that decision is that that decision that was made regarding nationwide injunctions today was made in order to conceal evidence of a crime, protect criminals, and because the people who made that decision are likely, and this is my own perspective and I'm free to voice that, involved in the crime of racketeering, and I believe that they need to be held criminally liable and need to be criminally investigated. My own understanding, based on all the research I've done trying to solve my own legal problems that has been caused by this disgusting old man that we refer to as Donald Trump, who is supposedly the president, who really appears to me to be doing everything he can to harm the nation, which I find incredibly questionable. Oh God, man. This crap makes me so angry. If these guys are engaging in criminal activity, it doesn't matter. The president, the Congress, the Supreme Court. If any law or legal decision is made with criminal intent as a part of criminal activity, that law is null and void. But in order for it to be nullified and voided out, it needs to be handled through the courts. It needs to be appealed through the courts. It needs to be tried through the courts. It needs to be challenged. So we need to keep track of these things. People need to be writing things down, keeping a log of the chain of events so we can clean up this mess. But I believe the people who just made this decision are very likely to be involved in criminal activity. And I believe that is why this decision was made. And if that is the case, hypothetically speaking, then we're going to need to challenge that and get it fixed. And these people need to be investigated. It is my personal opinion, based on my observations, that the things that this so-called president is doing appear to be harming a large amount of the civilian population. And to me, that constitutes a national security threat. And it is the responsibility of our federal government to fix that. Obviously, we all can clearly see that it appears that we are in a emergency situation of destabilization, which personally to me looks to be an act of war. Why would somebody choose to do that? That is a very good question. Because it looks to me like the Trump administration is deliberately attempting to destabilize the country. And that is an act of war. That is how a war starts. I'm just expressing my thoughts and my opinions based on my observations, and I'm free to do so. And I'd be very clear that these are my thoughts and my opinions based on my observations. The problem that I have with the nationwide injunction issue that just came up, technically today, technically yesterday, it's just barely past midnight, is that not only does it create a window of time where a president who may be trying to harm people has a window of time that they can get away with just hurting as many people as they possibly can, which is a threat to national security. But on top of that, I have more than 8 legal cases that have this has been going on for way too long. And nothing's being done, and my life has been destroyed by people who do not have the right to the fruits of my labor. They have destroyed my credit. They have taken from me to a level that is just absolutely unacceptable, making my survival impossible. I should have the right to legal recourse, and without the legal system, part of the whole reason why we have a legal system, there is a reason why we have a structured government. There is a reason why the whole world operates this way. And it's because of the fact that people are likely to engage in vigilante justice and take the law into their own hands without a system of justice. You can't just hurt people and do whatever you want and expect nothing to happen. I am not endorsing acts of violence or that anybody takes the law into their own hands, but that is why the legal system is in place. Without it, We have a national security threat. He is deliberately clogging up the courts, and this decision that was made today is going to clog the courts up even further, making it so that they can continue to engage in harm against the public, and nothing is done while everything is tied up in court, creating millions who are being denied justice, which is a national security.